Hey everyone, just a short science fiction review today. I read The Trouble with Tycho by Clifford D. Simak. This was first published in Amazing Stories in October of 1960. In 1961, it was published as an ace double with an A. Bertram Chandler story, and I have a ace edition from 1976 here. This is the first Simak that I've read, and it was a really good, fun science fiction adventure story. At the start of this, our main character is Chris Jackson. He's a prospector or a miner on the moon. In the setting of this story, there's mining on the moon. The moon is kind of lightly settled. It's a frontier town or something like that, right? There's some mining and some industry. It's not like there's cities on the moon or anything like that. It's sparsely inhabited. Chris Jackson is looking for resources such as uranium and diamonds. And there's also a little bit of life on the moon. There's small lichens and microbes, and also what they call hounds. Now, hounds, they're not entirely sure what they are, but they seem to be these beings of pure light and energy. So they are depicted on the cover here, right? The lichens, microbes, and hounds all seem to be related to each other somehow, but we're not really sure how yet. The microbes are especially sought after because they're able to treat people's mental illnesses, so we can make a medication out of them. So Chris Jackson's out looking for resources, and he spots another miner, Amelia. She's broken down and she needs some help. Of course, Chris helps his fellow prospector, and while he's helping Amelia lets him in on her plan. So it's Amelia's plan to go down to this dangerous and mysterious area of the moon. It's Tycho. And in Tycho, 30 years ago, some crews went missing. So this has reached almost like legendary status for those on the moon. Nobody dares to go down to Tycho, but Amelia wants to. Her reasoning is that they'll be able to salvage things from this expedition. She wants to know what happened to these crews, and she wants to be able to sell her story and become famous on the back of this expedition. And yeah, Chris Jackson agrees to help her. So they're both going to go down into this mysterious, dangerous area of the moon. Yeah, this was excellent. A lot of really good tension building as we go down into this unknown area. A lot of stuff in here about how difficult it would be to survive. It really reminded me of a Western novel, just in terms of that real frontier exploration kind of mentality. You know, like these are pioneers trying to make their fortune. It draws a bit on horror and suspense as well, as we're trying to work out what happened to this previous crew. The only criticism I would have is maybe it was a little bit too optimistic, but overall this was excellent. Really quick read, which is exactly what I needed after the previous novel I read was a bit of a slog, and I would highly recommend this. The only other thing I would say is this is pretty much just a short story, right? So my edition here is 115 pages, and you can see that the text is really large. Now for me, that's not a problem. I really quite like quick reads. Yeah, just a warning for people who are maybe paying very high eBay prices or something. You might want to wait until you can get it cheap, because it'll only take you an hour or so to read. I'm definitely looking forward to reading more Clifford D. Simak in the future. All right, thanks for watching. See you later.